Hey, we have Keys here. Hey man, what's up? Okay, that was surprising. I wasn't
That
expecting
was
Keys
that was so
to show up.
surprising.
Yeah,
Why is everyone surprised?
I think we
I
have never seen you on like in this Steam before, so I was like super surprised. Out of nowhere he came, but good to
I
see.
stop
That was
by
a good
the stream
that was
and
a
your
good
video and
surprise.
stuff. I do that. I stop by. I lurk a lot. So I usually just listen in to like what's going on. But
Yeah,
then after it, and there's like, oh, who wants to join the call? I'm like, I was like, ran back to my computer. I was like, I'll join.
I mean super. I
I
mean
am
this
so
is
glad you
just
did, man.
exciting.
I
Yeah,
am so glad you did. Yeah. So, Keys, man.
yeah.
First of all, I am a big fan of your streams. Every time I go into the Demon Hunters, I always go and lurk on your streams to just go and check it out, like the builds. So, do you have anything cooking in the backstage for the? No, Demon Hunter has been in a rough spot for a while. And maybe we're not looking that hot for Inferno 6, but you think that something's gonna change?
Probably not, but I'm also one that doesn't like to play like sentries and summons. Everyone knows this. I'm very vocal against sentries and summons and just that whole entire playstyle. I just don't like the way it plays. Good on people who enjoy that playstyle. I just don't think it works at like 12k, 13k res games because you drop your summons and then and then a bar pushes you or Tempest pushes you and then you're dead, right? Because you can't do any damage now because you're just running from them. So the new Sentry stuff that we're getting, it's very interesting. I don't think it's going to work against Tempest because they can just flowing strike out of the stun anyways, and that's
Yeah,
going to be the
absolutely.
problem. Tempest is just a problem regardless. The Sentry stun when you move away from it, it's like, okay, yeah, it stuns you, but then they can just flowing strike out of it. So I don't think it's going to impact the game at the highest level, or
Mhm.
I should say at the whale lobbies as much, but just because CC just doesn't really matter too much up there.
Yeah, I'm not.
Definitely.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I would say that it is the same thing with the wizard. Like the build that I play personally, the CC type of a build, it does work good with on like mid to lower resonance lobbies. But if someone is trying to be a big whale, will try and use my build, he won't be that good. So it's the same thing with the demon hunter using somewhat crabs and centuries, not that great at the higher tier lobbies.
I kind of wanted to ask you that I forgot. Did you try
Mhm.
the Aurat build? You did try, right?
That build is not even, I mean, new. It is somewhat 7 months old, and I
Mm-hmm.
did try it out. If you think you have a lot of map awareness and you can click really fast, then it is going to be a good build, especially at the higher resonance uh, tiers. It is going to
Mm-hmm.
be a good build. But for someone who is, let's say, your power level, you won't be doing all that much damage,
Yeah.
and it might be better for you to go maybe provide support to the team instead of trying to do damage.
Yeah.
That's just how I see the
Yeah,
build, but it's a good
that
build.
was my that was definitely my take. I think like the support and trying to go and just like the whales carry, it is
I
definitely
mean,
the way to go.
I mean, it's a really good build, but you need to build your reforge correctly, your magic attributes correctly.
Mhm.
You need to use the legendary gem properly, then button spam, then look at the map, and even move correctly. If you cannot do that, then you won't be much of a help to your team or like doing much in
Yeah.
game. At
That's how
least,
DH plays. Same exact way. Like you have to go all in on a certain build, like your
yeah.
reforges, your gems, everything has to be perfect. And then yeah, I know Inez and I were talking about this. I was like, you need to run this specific reforge. And he's like, well, I play so many different classes, so it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to spend on my reforge stones. I'm like, well, if you want to play DH at like at the highest level, like you have to do this because like you're just gonna be weak.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the major issue that I ran into when it came to Demon Hunter. But I also want to talking about Demon Hunter. We have another famous Demon Hunter here joining us. Yo, what's up, GameZone?
Hey, thank you for having me, and I hope you guys are well as well. So yeah,
Okay, so
Doing good, man.
we gonna debunk here the biggest myth in the Diablo Immortal community, which is people say
what's that?
that
We are the same
Apollyon,
person.
Apollyon and GameZone are the same person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
here.
They are.
That is what they
I'm
say.
convinced they're the same person.
I have been
Yeah,
hearing this.
I am a
Yeah,
I am AI of Apollyon speaking right now. That's what
Oh
I
man.
am.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I first heard both of your videos, I'm like, wait, is this the same person? So I was one of those people.
Yeah, I get that. But I'm used to it by now. I mean,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
I mean, we both maybe from same using like native same language. Maybe that is why, because
Yeah,
of the
that's
accent.
the case. That is
Maybe
one
that
of the
is why.
case why we sound so familiar.
Yeah, no, you guys like, definitely sound super familiar. Okay,
Yeah, I
to a
know.
point that I already said I'm sorry to GameZone, but I don't know if Apollyon knows this story. But whenever we were doing the testing for the new map, the Blizzard said that they were gonna invite people from the outside, right? So they invited like a bunch of people, including the like someone that I didn't know that it was GameZone, and I thought that it was Apollyon the whole time, man. And because like the GameZone, you
Real?
didn't have a nickname, you didn't have like a I don't know how you guys look, right? So the whole time I was calling
You've been
GameZone
calling me Apollyon.
Apollyon, man, the whole time. And well, like, okay, maybe Apollyon is gonna come back to the partners program. Maybe they are putting him here to test it out, the waters and all these things. And along the way, then Misery DM me and it's like, bro, that was hilarious. And I was like, what do you mean that was hilarious? That you were calling GameZone Apollyon. And I was like,
Really?
yeah.
That happened?
Yeah, and I was like, I had no fucking idea, man. And then I went to GameZone and I said, I'm sorry, man. Like, but yeah, you guys
No, it's
like,
fine.
you guys have like
Oh
a
my
very
goodness, that's
simple,
fun.
even your mics, you know, like the way you guys have the mics, also they are like very similar.
My
But
mic is really old. It's from a Razer, and I have to put on so many applications to make it better because of the noise cancellation thing. But right now, I'm not at home,
mhm,
so I'm on my phone using normal microphone. So I don't
yeah.
know how I sound like
No,
at the moment.
it's sounding good. It's sounding good. I have a question for the also GameZone and for Key, since you
Yeah,
guys
sure.
are the new guys here. What do you guys think about like this new patch? We probably gonna have, you know, Berserker collabs coming to the game. Like, what is your feelings towards it? What is your feelings like in general towards Diablo Immortal early 2025? I'll start with the keys first.
So I never read the manga. I actually had to look it up when I heard the IP collab, and I was like, I just don't know anything about it, so I didn't really have too many strong feelings regarding the new announcement. So I didn't really have any thoughts.
And what about the state of the game? How you're feeling right now?
I mean, the thing. Well, we got to split it out into two separate sections. Like, there's the PVE aspect of the game, and there's the
Mm-hmm.
PvP aspect of the game. So it depends on which part you're talking about. How I feel about the state of the game. Is it more PvE? Are you asking PvE focused or PvP
No, I
focused?
know you're a PvP player, and also you're a whale. So PvE for you is like you just go, you roll over, right? So there's no much challenge there, unfortunately. And I hope that in the future there is. But in the PvP, how do you feel about it?
I don't know, man. Those Gauntlet 3 carries like still haunt me, spending hours carrying people in Gauntlet 3. So that was like some of the toughest content ever, and everyone complains about that content. But even as a whale, like it was very difficult, mechanically difficult to carry that fight. So I would like to see more of that in the PvE side of things, and
Yeah.
mythic keys or like adding keys to dungeons, increase the raid encounter or like the dungeon encounter, just like WoW, right? Like you add keys to the dungeon to make it
Yeah.
more difficult. So that would be awesome. I think for PvE, more challenging content, better rewards, like when you up the difficulty. But then, like I said to other people, is then you have the people that are saying, "Oh, it's just pay to win." Now you're rewarding the whales even more because they're the only ones that can clear the content. So I'm kind of torn between that.
Mm-hmm.
And then same thing for PvP, right? It's the same exact thing. It's like, oh, the whales are gonna do just crush everyone, and in order for me to be competing, if I want to kill everybody, I have to spend a lot of money. which is why I made that freeze build. I think I was one of the first builds out there that used the Prayer for Endwinter set. I didn't really see a lot of videos covering it, so
Yeah.
when I covered it, that was like a decent coverage on it because not a lot of people were using that set. So I think like you have to realize or just set expectations for where your character power is, and character power obviously is your resonance, your secondary, your combat rating, all that stuff together, your PvP combat power. And if you are a whale and you're playing just a control build, you're not going to kill anyone. So it's really just a waste of your stats in the battleground. Like you need to be able to kill people. If you're more of like the mid res, let's say like 6 to 8k, then you can play more of a hybrid control build. And
Yeah.
then if you are a really lower res, you may want to play as DH. You may want to play summons, right? So it's like summons is really popular at lower res, and it does quite well because not to knock anybody, but most of the people can't tell that there's a summons sitting right on top of them, and they just die to it. But in the high res games, just everyone is hyper aware. I shouldn't say everyone, but most people are hyper aware that there's a summon sitting right there, and they'll run away from it. So
Yeah. Definitely depends
that's
on
how I
the
feel.
rank you're playing, right?
Yeah. Well, sure,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Well, yeah. I know what you mean. No, but I feel like something that you said like regarding the PV, and I also wanna throw the ball as well like here to GameZone, because like a lot of people complain that whenever you are pay to win, then you get like super strong, and then like eventually you're just gonna roll over not only players but through the old content. But the reality is, do you think that whenever you are paying, you're making your game experience worse at the end of the day? What do you think about that, GameZone?
Well, when it comes to resonance, yeah, I do believe that. I mean, most people make this mistake is that they only focus on the second, I mean, on the resonance, and they pick whatever gems that they find easy to upgrade. Well, that is the case with most players because they do believe that resonance is the way to go for PvP or any element inside the game. Even they believe that it is good for PvE, which I believe makes the experience overall bad for most players, especially in the PvP. So I would say having less resonance but more secondary would be a better way for players to make their experience better. But yeah, it is definitely going to make them feel stale about their progression inside the game. But if a player is going to spend more on their resonance and not on the secondary, and they just choose whichever gem they find, they are potentially making their experience worse, and therefore they might end up first switching class, try to experience something different if that works, and if the story is the same for them, who knows, they will take a break and then call it a quit. That
Yeah.
is how it works. Because having a right gem setup which synergize with one another, and on top of that, you need a really high resonance. I always say that, let's say if you have a 2000 resonance, then you should better have the twice secondary for your character. Especially if you're a demon hunter, you should focus on your armor penetration and armor. And the third thing is the resistance. For demon hunter, resistance is a friend because I hate crusaders a lot. I mean, I don't want anyone hating me, but crusader as of now are still OP in my opinion, especially when the class distribution is so fucked up. I mean, in your
Yeah,
team you would be going with the barbarian tempest, and on the other side you're going to face two or three crusader. We already know from the start that this is going to be a GG. Demon Hunter really can't do shit about that because once they get close to you, they are going to constant stun you and won't able to let you move. And then some Malaka wizard will come in and drop a CC on you, and you are further fucked up. So
yeah.
having
You know what,
class
GameZone?
distribution. Yeah.
I know, and I checked like a few of your videos. I know you've been doing PvP, man, and I can see the rage and frustration coming out from doing just a few days of PvP, man. But I would agree with you. I'll agree with you that Crusader right now, it is probably at the stage that it is like like if you play as a Crusader, you see that it's not like broken. But whenever you play versus a Crusader and you get one-shotted, like you literally get stunned and then you're gonna get one-shotted, right? If you don't
Yeah.
have the Savior. It is very frustrating. Very, very frustrating.
Yeah, this is why I believe having a higher resistance is really important for Demon Hunter because he needs to be nimble. If you stay around at one spot for too long, it doesn't matter if you get stunned or you're just being lazy. You are just going to get killed because Demon Hunter is a cannon class. You cannot expect it to be a tank or hybrid. Even when you have the escape set up with the shield, that isn't going to save you for the longest time.
Yeah.
At the end, you will have to take a kill. If you don't, then being a demon hunter, you are absolute useless for your team. So demon hunter has to pick a kill, and I do see that a lot of players for Demon Hunter try out the rocket pills with the hailfire, and that works fine. But when you get caught by some crusader or wizard, you're pretty much going to die because the only way that you can get out from that is a daring swing, which we all know that doesn't work most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Yeah.
get caught in CC in mid-air, or a crusader could just come and CC you. I believe Crusader were fine before. They didn't need it to
No,
nerf
no,
its
before no.
damage, but they
Crusader was
needed
shit
to nerf
before.
its. I believe they needed to nerf its CC effect. It's just too
Yeah, yeah.
harsh, in my
The
opinion.
CC AoE I think is a bit too much. Yeah. But you know
Yeah.
what? I kind of want to touch in a topic for everyone. Feel free to speak. Just take turns.
Let me
Yeah.
let me say something. I have been laughing my ass off here. I'm one of those wizards out there who CCDs demon hunters. And I
I
have been
know.
like I have been pushing my potency like 6,500 to 4,700, right? So, and I have been getting some love messages after a couple of games. Like Apollyon, you are one big chicken, you CC and run away. So I've been seeing those love comments. Like, I mean, I do imagine Demon Hunter loving me like that.
Yeah.
I was
No.
just
Yeah,
laughing
but you're doing
myself.
what
I
you're
mean,
supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah.
For your
okay,
for your power.
that is another thing. So a lot of people right now think, why you are playing like a chicken as a wizard? You should be standing on the idol, and every now and then I see someone stand on the idol, stand on the. Oh my freaking! How am I supposed to stand on the idol against a crusader and barbarian? But they will keep telling me stand on the idol, and I will
Yeah.
go stand on the idol and die, and they will be like, "No, you're not providing support. Oh my goodness, make your
There
mind.
are
Tell
times
me
you
what."
have to though. If your team's in
Yeah,
the midst of like rotating or respawning, you have to
yeah.
sacrifice yourself.
I
There's
mean,
too many
I mean,
times where range will just run away and then they pierce the heart, right? I've seen that so many times where it's just like I understand your range, but
yeah,
like if your melee is rotating or that they're dead and they're respawning, you have to
yeah,
you
yeah,
have to stand on it. What I would like to see is a little bit easier to tell if someone's respawning. Like if you open the board, like maybe there's a death icon next to it because like your teammate's dead. Other than like you can see who's in your party, like who's dead and
yeah.
alive. But sometimes it's hard to tell whether you should rotate or not because you can't tell if the people in the raid are alive or dead on the other
Yeah.
side. So
Yeah.
then
That's
it's
a good
tough
point.
sometimes.
Okay, and
Uh, Hold on, I need to add one point here. I mean, I like the idea what Geese said here, and if you guys would notice on the newer Vanguard, we can see other players' skills when they are going to get ready and when they deploy that. So if they put some similar mechanic inside the battleground, we would be able to see that who's going to come back after that with the cooldown timer. That I think could fix the issue.
Mm. So, guys, I have a question. Because a few of us, been playing, or maybe probably all of us, we already tested out the new map. Okay, it's been what, 1 month, maybe 1 month and a half now. I want to make a question for all of you guys. What is your thoughts on the new map? And also, you can compare it with the old map. What is it? Keys, you can go first.
Well, with the Crusader damage reduced, like the duration by half, it's like 0.5 to 1 second, I think. They're not as bad as they were because it was basically you get caught by the blind taunt, you're dead, right? That judgment tick, or I think it
Yeah.
was judgment that ticks, that hits so hard, so fast. So and now I'm not dying to the 13k satyrs anymore. I'm almost dead now. So, but then, like, the satyrs aren't too much of a problem anymore. It's the golem necros that are really, really hard to deal with, and it's mostly because they can have the damage reduction, and then they can wraith form, fear you, and do damage to you all at the same time. And there'll be like two or three of them just standing on the idol, and you can't just stop them. Like you can't kill them, you can't stop them. And then the only thing that you can do is use a new Virag. But then if they don't split up and they move away out of the range of the AOE from the Virag, it won't purge the golem. So then you're just stuck again. And then also you're CC'd like for 10 seconds because there's three of them standing together. So I think there are very certain specific classes on the new map that really, really shine. Golem Necro especially shines
Yeah.
on the new on Convoy.
What about you, Apollyon?
All right, I will second what Keys just said, that some of the classes are performing really good, like the Golem on the new map. Golem, Crusaders. Well, any class that can somewhat stand on the idol and take the hit and still push or stop the idol, they are somewhat doing really good in the new map. But let's talk about the map itself. I do enjoy the new map. I feel like it gives you a lot more freedom to move around, and it is much harder to catch you. Especially, I have been running away from Barbarian Tempest. They all like to chase me, and I have a lot more area to like run away from, and I like the freedom. But I do believe that the new map require you to have a bit more skills, because now you need to uh, check who is teleporting, if anyone like teleporting and will be coming from behind. So you need to keep an eye on that, and keep an eye on your idol if the team is pushing it, and you need to keep an eye on the other side and stop them. And you can also try and keep using the teleports. You can stop the enemy team. You are done. You use the teleport. Go help your team out. You see you have help, and see someone is going back to push. You go back. So a bit more skills required for the new map, but I do like that personally. I like the challenge. I like something that makes me want to do more. So personally, as a wizard, I have been doing really good and been enjoying the map. But like Guy said, some of the classes are performing better because they can somewhat take the hits and stand on the idol. Golem doesn't do all that much damage. I mean, I can take some damage even from higher reso dudes. Golem doesn't do that much damage, but Crusader does like hit like a tank. But
Yeah.
I still like the new map. I still like the new map. Classes is a different topic, but but the
The
map
map
itself,
design,
I
you
do
like
like
it.
it. Yeah,
All right.
I like that. Yeah,
What about you?
I like. I would say I like it a lot more compared to the old one, because in the old one it's a lot boring for me. Just keep on throwing one thing in a straight line and just rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
That somewhat got boring, at least for me. So I like to move in
Yeah.
the new map and have a bit more freedom.
Yeah.
It's more
Pace is
action
good.
packed. A lot more action packed, I think, the new map. So I like that part. But
Before
uh,
GZ goes, just one comment real fast. I would love to see in the very center, like where, where when you're fighting a boss, it shows the health of the boss. I would love to see Guardian health in the front and top center. So because so many people ignore
100%.
the
Yeah, I
Guardian.
agree.
So I would love to see, just like when you're doing a dungeon where you see the boss health in the front and center, put the guardian health right in front so everyone knows it's up and alive and they can see how, you know, see what the health is. Because too many people just don't realize it's up.
Yeah. What about you,
And some
Gizzy?
and I would say some of those buffs are super strong and can make a huge difference. Like you get that resurrection one is super strong. Even as a wizard, I can just stand on the idol or stop
I think
the enemy
execute.
idol.
No,
Ex-
execute is by
Yeah,
far
the
Yeah,
execute is OP.
uh,
Is OP. Is
y-
absolutely
yeah,
OP.
it's the
yeah.
final buff.
Oh yes, the one that you can execute if
Yeah,
the enemy
the
plays
that's
20%.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is also really strong. So some of these buffs are super important and can make a huge
Yeah.
difference. So having a HP in the mid is gonna be like a really good quality
Yeah.
of life feature.
So
Ex-
But yeah,
what about you, GameZone?
Well, compared to the older map, I have noticed a couple of things. One is which the CC on the older map, I believe that CC is a lot stronger, especially coming from Wizard or even if someone Necromancer who is using Vortex, they feel much more stronger towards you because what you will be doing is running along in the single lane and it's quite narrow. So there is not much free space to move around. So in terms of that, the newer map is a lot better because it allows you to maneuver around, avoid those CCs getting uh, to you. That is definitely better in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do, I mean, say that these guys are saying, uh, right, that melee classes such as not Necromancer and Crusader are performing somewhat a lot stronger. Necromancer itself for the Hulk is way too strong in my opinion, especially when they stack up their set items with Mount Bank and then you would use the Spiteful Blood legendary gem, and on top of that they have their minions to help them receive a lot less damage than they have the form of this Hulk. They are just unkillable, and their primary objective is never to get kills, but to slow you down and your progress with the idol, and therefore they are doing really well. And I believe they still need a second look at how they are performing. And for the Crusader itself, I would say the stun effect is still strong and it need to be reduced by half or something because that is in my opinion is the biggest issue. Crusader shouldn't have that much of a power on the CC because their radius with the attack is already too big. But however, the newer map is definitely better, but the matchmaking is bad, and for that reason I would want developers to remove the option for due party. I know that sounds bad, but I believe that is one of the biggest cause right now in Europe to have a really messed up matchmaking where you will end up against Wales or the matches are just going to be one-sided because
Mm-hmm.
you would notice that there are going to be two crusaders showing up on your side, or there could be a crusader or a necromancer, both really strong showing up against you. And I believe this is because of the dual party system which the newer map has. So until they fix how the matchmaking is going to work, I believe they should remove this feature and let players experience as it is how they do the older map and see if the overall experience is better. Because I do know that there are a lot of players who feel hesitant to go solo and play this, and therefore they always bring someone with them, or they would just invite their stronger player, a resonance player with them, so they have a better chance of winning. And this feature, in my opinion, is causing a lot of mismatching.
Mm.
But overall, the newer one is better. I am looking forward to it. For the Demon Hunter, I do believe that it helps me avoid a lot of CC, and therefore in most matches I can run away. I mean I can get away with just one or two deaths and sometimes not even one. So for Demon Hunter, then the newer map is awesome because
Yeah.
I can move freely. So that is what I like to play most most of my time these days, the newer one, and I try to avoid the older one. But the sad thing is, it's only stay open for 3 hours, which is not enough.
Yeah, because
And
I
yeah,
feel like right now we are just like in testing phase, right? So, like
yeah, it's testing phase.
we are doing like these 3 hours. So I have like a couple of questions because like you actually mentioned the duo queue, which I almost forgot about it, but definitely I don't forget about it whenever I see Temari and AZ, which are like these fucking big whales in now in Europe. But either
It's a
way,
GG when you see
yeah,
them.
yeah, exactly. So I would not like them to remove the future. I would like them to maybe improve the future. Maybe like a duo queue leaderboard or so, or like I don't know. They have to definitely fix it because we had this issue many years ago in League of Legends where duo queue used to be mixed in together like with the solo queue and always create like these very unbalancing things because if you have a pre-made they usually just gonna destroy everything. The other thing that you guys were saying is like you preferred like the layout of the new map, but the new map still has a few problems, which I agree. I think like the suggestion that Keys did about like the top bar of the boss, because I really believe this, that so many players they don't even know that the boss is getting killed and they don't even realize, and
No,
once
no.
they only see like the warning saying oh I guess he's dead now. you know so that definitely that they can improve. Personally for me I feel this way: if I'm playing Tempest as I'm playing now, I kind of prefer to play the old map because I think I have like more space to just go into the back line to do those plays. Obviously, the old map has a lot of issues when it comes to the CC on the stairs. We all know that. But if I was playing Barbarian or Crusader or Necromancer, I definitely would prefer to play on a new map. I want to ask you guys, are you guys having any lag issues inside the new map compared to the old map? Because for me, it is becoming like really unplayable.
Should I go first?
Yeah, go.
Well, at first I did notice that I was having the issue, and I had to uninstall the game and do a clean install, and that did fix some lag and FPS drop issue for me. For PC, that is for PC. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know about the mobile devices, but yeah, for PC version, that did fix for me. And also recently, I mean, we received NVIDIA newer drivers, so I believe that did overall improve experience for me. But yeah, when there were a lot of CC effects, and especially I noticed that someone with the spam build that was causing the lag issue. I think it has something to do with the attack registration,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and that causes the lag. And someone who is right now using a spam build, especially from the wizard, I believe that is one of the cause that is doing it. But that is just my hunch. I am not attacking wizard here, but that's just my hunch.
No,
Every
but
time when I
also
have
like for
noise,
example, whenever I'm facing like very big whales with all those like massive wings and all these things, I actually feel like some and a lot of crusaders, especially if there is like 3 or 4 crusaders. Like like you start the game, the crusaders they gonna take the teleport, which Apollyon was saying that actually adds more skill and definitely adds more skill because you can actually do like some naughty tricks with that teleport, which is very cool. But they teleport in, they come into the idol, and then it's a lag fest. I just started the game and I start lagging. It is becoming like very unplayable. Maybe I'll have to uninstall and install the game once again. But one of the things that I noticed, you guys three, you spoke, but you really didn't mention Barbarian. So isn't
it's a
Barbarian
good
a
thing.
problem
It's a good
anymore?
thing.
You
No,
guys
no,
think?
no. It's a good thing we didn't mention barbarian. If it did, then it would have been a problem.
Yeah, I'm happy where Barb is right now. Like power wise, the reach, like Barb is okay. Like it's not completely broken like it was.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I think Barb's okay. Barb feels good. Like I still, Hammer and Spartusk and well, I mean it's mostly Hammer, but I mean that still hurts. But it's not like the chain. I get chained from like 10 yards off the screen, right? Like that was so annoying.
Yeah. Because it was almost the same yards as like Demon Hunter, right? Like you had to go close to him
Yep.
so you'll get chained up,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Well,
That's the problem.
yeah. Well, I believe. Well, I'm actually a little sad that they got the nerf on their hammer as well, because the only issue as a demon hunter which I was having was the
The
chain.
chains. Yeah.
Because with the chain they could always pull you in from such a far distance. But once they fix that, now I can pretty much 90% of the time can avoid that. So that would mean no hammer for them
And that,
to hit me with, and that is fine. But now that they can do that, still at some point I feel like their damage output from the hammer isn't really lethal enough to make me scared of them. I mean,
mm-hmm.
I'll be fine now if I'm seeing someone who is barbarian, who is around the same resonance as me. What I would do now is take a risk and hit them with my dash so I can immobilize them
Mm-hmm.
and then further deal more damage, because I'm not scared of barbarian as much as I
You
was
should. What do
before.
you mean you're not scared of Barb?
No, that's the truth. I mean, this is why I am sad. I mean, I was fine that their damage with the hammer was high, because that is how it should have been with the
So
barbarian, that if they get you close to them, you are done for. That was the feeling that would make you, you know, keep at distance from them. But now, if you get caught, you know that you could survive out of that, and you can even immobilize them with your dash and maybe take them down. But
yeah.
yeah, but I believe it's a double nerf, which was not necessary for barbarian, because the biggest issue was their chain.
But the damage is still there. The problem is like it takes like double the time to recharge the hammer. And most of the times whenever you are in PvP, you're trying like to just spam the hammer. And because like it is harder now to recharge, like the damage probably is like half of what they will given. But imagine like if they is in CC and it's like with a full hammer charge, it pulls you in and probably can almost one shot you. So yeah, I feel like the hammer nerf maybe was a bit too much. I agree with you, but I kind of want to talk about, because I'm a Tempest right now, and Tempest got
Bruh.
nerfed. Wait,
Bro,
Apollyon. I'll go to you. One
yeah,
second.
in this, just forget that I'm here.
No. I want to say something, because like this time we have I'm using the Tempest. And Tempest also got like this heavy nerf when it comes to the yards, and I noticed that now demon hunters are starting to become a bit more, maybe more viable, or at least it's harder for me to kill Tempest, because the yards that went from 8 to 6 on the rolling surf, and because of that I feel like I have more trouble to kill demon hunters. Do you guys feel that it's easier for you guys to kill demon hunters, to kill Tempest as a demon hunter, or it's still like very, very hard? And I didn't
Who
forget
wants
about
to
you,
go
Apollyon.
first?
I didn't
Who
forget
wants
about
to
you.
go first?
Go ahead.
Should I go?
Yeah, go. Just start.
Key should go first, then I'll take second.
I'm in.
Okay, go. He's eating. Say again.
Oh,
Go.
he's eating. He's all right. So for me, noticing Tempest nerf, I could say that I really can't tell if they got nerfed, because they, most of the time whenever they attack you, they would prefer you to rush in. So
Mm,
what that would do is they don't want to give you any opportunity to run away. It is only from those Tempest players who are still, learning the curve, that they would try to use their rushes to get close first, then attack you. But for someone who is veteran on Tempest, they would just rush in and get so close to you that even if you would try to use a daring swing or dash, they would still hit you. But most of the time, you could still survive them. I mean, I was surviving them even before their nerf, and I am still surviving them now.
you
But
know, GameZone. I love how you just call me a noob without even wanting to call me a noob.
No,
Yeah, it's like,
that-
yeah, if you're having trouble killing Demon Hunter, it's because, you're still on a learning curve,
well, learning curve is a good thing, and it's what everyone goes through. I mean,
Yeah.
even we did it, so it's fine as long as we are learning. So there is nothing wrong with that.
No,
But
no,
yeah,
but you're actually right. Whenever I have the biggest trouble, it is whenever, like, I get engaged on, like the the Demon Hunter comes at me with a Strife build, and it's just like I try to hit him back, but it's like really hard. And they do a lot of damage. They still do a lot of damage.
if they are using the rocket pills, the best thing you could do is just run away for 2 or 3 seconds, and their skills are going to go on the cooldown, and then they are invulnerable. I mean, they won't have much left in them to fight against you. I have
Yeah.
noticed that some tempers use this opportunity to escape and then jump in, but most of the tempers rush in heads on, hit you with flying strike, and you won't be able to move, and they
Mm.
will finish you off. And since they are using Gloom Price set, they can hit you really hard. And on top of that, playing Tempest, you really need to have the Spiteful Blood gem, even if you could use that as auxiliary, because it does help you against Demon Hunter, especially the one who are using Pain Sower
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
build, which gives them the ability to use rockets, multi-shot, and primary itself. So you can negate a lot of damage from them, but definitely are Tempest can go toe to toe with Demon Hunter, and if they can
They engage
prevent,
first, right? If they engage first.
yeah, if
Yeah.
they engage first and rush in on the proper time, they can take down Demon Hunter. But the best uh, strategy for Demon Hunter is for these players who are using Daring Swing with the rockets, they would prefer to attack blindly from distance, because what you would notice is that they would be just using stray from distance, not knowing who they would hit, and that is exactly what they would try to do against the
Yeah.
Tempest. But if it doesn't work, and if they see someone coming in, they would use steering swing and run away.
All
So
right.
yeah, I can definitely see a Tempest can have a slight hard time in order to reach to Demon Hunter, but overall, I don't believe 2 yard range reduction has made any difference for them.
No, it made like just a very minor difference. It's not like the Tempest is dead or anything like that. It's still super strong, but there's
This is
like some minor things that you can actually
yeah.
feel. I
This is
have
also
like
their way to. This
mm,
is also their way to advertise the new gem, which is Colossal Engine. So we are reducing the range. Now you must definitely get this gem and get back your range.
that's true. Okay, I have here another question, and I'm gonna start with Apollyon because I didn't forget about
Yes,
him.
sir. Yes, sir. All right,
um,
I do have something to say about
all
the
right,
Tempest, of course. So,
go for it.
like you was saying, you do feel the nerf for the Tempest when you do and play the PvP, and my perspective on this is going to be a bit different. I think Tempest is best played at higher resonance power. It is one of the best PvP high damage mobility assassin type of a class, which somewhat plays best when someone with higher reso is playing it. If you at lower reso will try and play it, your impact is not going to be somewhat same. You will be easier to kill because you won't have much survivability compared to someone who will be much stronger. So you will have survivability issue because you have to actually get closer and do the damage. And now you have to get even more closer, 6 yard to do damage. Before you could do it with 8 yard and do some sort of kiting, but now you have to go get closer. And so it is going to impact smaller players more than the players who will be somewhat sitting at higher reso. They
Yeah.
were already super strong. They go in, do damage, get out. They know they do that and rinse and repeat. So Tempest, in my opinion, plays best at higher reso or mid reso lobby, and maybe not the best class at low spender and free to play. Maybe I would say Wizard is the best class when it comes to free to play or low spenders, but not that great at higher tiers unless you are using the button spamming build and you are really good at that. So that is just my opinion. And as for the barbarian, like you guys were talking before, again I think barbarian is somewhat did not needed that hammer enough at all. That was unnecessary. The chain reduction was more than enough. And again, barbarian is somewhat now plays the best when a whale is playing it. For them, it is super strong because having a undying rage is pretty powerful. They can stand, fight, do damage, and get away. But for smaller players, it is not gonna be that great playing as a barbarian. They will lose their HP instantly, and then they will not able to stop the idol or move it, and their chain distance is also being reduced. I mean, no barbarian is now pulling me and playing ping pong with my wizard anymore. So
Yeah.
I think the hammer was unnecessary. Barbarian is somewhat weak now with the low resonance free to play tier. Somewhat gets better when you maybe reach 5,000, 6,000 resonance. You will able to deal damage, have more survivability, gets even better if a whale at 10, 11, 12 resonance is
Yeah.
playing. And for most people, let's say if they are free to play and small spender, wizard is going to be for them, or any class, demon hunter with sanctuary, maybe support type of build with dot, they can try and do that. Because if you get close and personal, you will die fast. And definitely, Tempest, smaller Tempest player is gonna feel the nerf more than the Whales. Whales were already playing it very aggressively, and if you have seen the video from Killswitch, he posted the other day testing the Tempest. For him, he said it somewhat felt still good because he was playing it pretty aggressively. So
Yeah.
I think at lower resonance, there's going to be impact. Higher resonance, they will somewhat still say it's good. That's
Yeah.
just my perspective and
Yeah,
opinion.
definitely. Whenever you play as a higher resonance, it kind of opens up like more classes and more builds. That's for sure. So, still on the topic of like the new map, one of the first thoughts, and I actually want to because like I know that GameZone and Keys they were there. Whenever you first saw for the first time the map, and you guys saw that, you know, it was once again idle pushing. I kind of want to know your thoughts. What was your first impressions of the map? But like also for your opponent because like you saw it later. But like I'll just like say my where I stand. My first thought was like, oh my god, not again idle pushing. I was with massive copion that there was gonna be a different game mode, and at the end of the day, I wrote on my feedback that I feel like this map, because it's smaller and because it's defending and attacking, the problem of like tanks slash idle classes that, you know, they pretty much just play around the idle or they dominate the idle, like the golem, the crusader, the barb. They will pretty much just dominate the map. In the problem of the tanks and the pushing the idle was going to be even increased, and I feel that that's what is happening. I feel like the problem of the idle pushing, it is more prominent on the new map than the old map. So, Keys, did you finish eating?
Yeah.
Okay, so give me your first impressions and what do you thought, like the first thing?
I'm gonna offer a slightly different opinion than yours because if we look at Overwatch, how they
Mhm.
hit, where you're pushing the cart, right, and
Yeah.
one attack is defending, one side is attacking, and then you switch sides and you're pushing and then they're stopping, right? If you take that same concept into that map, what's going to happen is classes that can just stand on the idle indefinitely are going to win no matter what. So if you have bad matchmaking, you're going to like mostly range, you're probably going to lose every single time.
Oh,
I
okay.
like
Sorry, Keys. When I meant I wish that I had a different game mode, not idle pushing.
Yeah, but then what else do we have? We have towers, right? Capturing the towers like in Azarathi Basin or Tower War, right? We have that. And then we have escorting the Guardians, and then you have the hybrid of it's kind of like Overwatch Convoy, but on both sides at the
Yeah.
time. Right? So I get you'd like to see something else, but I'm thinking like what other things could there be? Like I mean, if you look at the gaming industry, like what other types? We already have ARAM, right? Kind of League of Legends style, one single lane pushing with visual blades and things like that, right? So we already have that. We've done the Arathi Basin, we've done the Tower War already. So the convoy's actually new because you're both defending and pushing at the same time. So the concept might be familiar, but I think it's very interesting take. I think they put a very interesting spin on it because it wasn't like the problem with Overwatch is again, you have too many tanks, and with Overwatch you can only have one tank on one side anyways. But with this game you could have 5, 6, 7, 8 melee stand on the idol, and if you're just defending the entire time, you're just gonna die and eventually lose. The nice thing about the way they did the map, in my opinion, is you have the opportunity to switch lanes, get their cooldowns, wait for the Undying Rage, take the teleporter, switch lanes, and go push, and then come back and then clean up the idol, or clean up the idol that you're pushing. So in the downtime that you're waiting for cooldowns, you can switch, rotate, do some damage, and then go back and then clear the idol. So I like it. I mean, I think I like it. And I saw someone talk about capture the flag. I thought about that too. You know, kind of like a Quake kind of style where you can do a capture the flag. That'd be interesting too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to do that though, or like a Warsong Gulch. That would be very interesting too.
Yeah, Warzone Gulch, like for those that never play World of Warcraft, pretty much you have two bases, and the your team has to go there and capture the flag and bring it back to your own base. And both teams they have the same objective. The major issue with Warzone Gulch was like whenever they used to bring the flag and then they camp and defend, and they used to take like a bunch of time, but. I see where you're coming from, and definitely like they picked up something that existed, and I think the new map, the convoy, it is a better version than what we already have. Um, but I kind of want to hear like also like GameZone talking about it. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts like on the map when you first saw?
Mine, well, when the first time when I saw the map, I kind of knew that this is going to happen because in my mind, I knew that developers aren't going to, I mean, try out something, completely new. They would
Mm-hmm.
want us to have some similarities, familiar feelings around the battleground. Because if they would go out all the way, giving us something entirely new, that would just, uh, take away our interest from the newer map. So for that reason, I knew that this is going to happen, but when I noticed that we will be able to attack on the other team idols as well and try to stop them while us moving our idol, I knew from the start that the best defense is offense. So you have to stop their idol, which is going to help us move our idol, and therefore tanks are. Sorry, the tanks are actually going to perform better. So I was really happy to see that they actually improved the damage reduction for the range classes as well. But overall, I think it all comes down to the experience that going, I'm going to receive in the map, which evolve around the matchmaking, and it is the core issue why it makes us feel how it makes us feel,
Yeah, do you guys
which
think
is
we
quite
should have
miserable.
limited tanks? Limited tanks? Do you guys think?
Yeah, I think there should be limitation to the classes when the matchmaking works. Like, uh, one side cannot have like two barbarian, more than two barbarian, two crusader, and if one side has this similar class like crusader, then the other side should have that as well. So it should work slightly different. Like there should be limitation to the classes when the matchmaking works, and the class distribution itself should help provide a more fair balancing Steam structure. Because right now the Steam structure is not well built by the matchmaking, and therefore the experience which we receive is bad. I wouldn't say the map itself is bad, but the experience itself that we receive because of the matchmaking and the factor that the game is actually pay to
Yeah.
win. I think these two elements is what makes you feel like the map is not working, is bad. But in overall, let's say even if it was a team that match, I believe that whichever team it was going to be stronger in terms of power, tank, were
Yeah.
actually going to win easily. So it all comes down to overall matchmaking and how the class are being distributed. But all I do believe that that the newer map is better, and they did their best. They could have tried something new. I would have been fine by it as long as it would have made sense. But still, I think it's an improvement over the older map.
So, what do you think about what GameZone just said, Apollyon?
Huh? What was I was away? What was you guys talking
Yeah,
about?
you were
The
saying
new
that
map?
you were saying that regarding like the new map, he still thinks is a good experience, but the experience itself in PvP gets ruined because of the matchmaking. And then you have
Hmm.
like multiple tanks, and one team doesn't have tanks, the other has tanks. Do you think that, for example, the matchmaking should have out of the imagine we have 8 players, four slots should be slot in with 4 tanks, and the other ones with DPS, or like 3 tanks and the rest DPS. What is your thoughts on this?
Okay, so I think my opinion is gonna be a bit more positive about the new map. I think they are trying to go in the right direction with the new map and some of the class balance changes. So they're definitely trying to make things better for everyone. And the recent class balance changes, I think it did end up improving the overall experience, especially for the range classes like a Demon Hunter. They don't get pulled from 8 9 yard anymore. Same for the wizard. So the experience is indeed getting better. We can have a bit more impact. And now I understand that some of the melee classes been performing really good, not because they might not like doing super damage, but because they can stand on the idol. And for that, they can simply somewhat, like you said, allow 4 melee classes and 4 range classes. Something that is supposed to be in the game already, but it's not working. So if they can somewhat do that, I think they are trying to go into the right direction. And I'm quite sure right now someone from Blizzard is watching this live stream and listening. So hopefully they will do
I
something.
hope so.
Yeah, with the class balance
But
changes.
I
Well, with the classes, like when we go into the matchmaking, maybe make sure that one class does not end up with seven melee classes and 1 range class. This is something that
yeah,
this is something that I've been seeing
but the
happening
thing is,
right
like,
now.
they treat melee
Mhm.
all together. They treat melee together as a whole, right? But one thing is a tank and the other thing is a melee, right? Like Tempest, it is a damage dealer. It doesn't really push the idol, right? And I
Yeah.
feel like on the new map, this is like from my personal experience of playing it. Uh, in the past, in the old map, this was already a problem that usually if you had more barbs in the other team, most of the times you will end up losing. And I feel like on the new map, if the other team has like like 5 tanks or 6 tanks, like 4 crusaders or 3 crusaders and 2 barbs, and or 2 or 1 golden necro, whatever you want to slot in inside that pool of tanks, you'll just end up losing. That's like my whole experience, and it's actually being a bit encouraged. That together with the lag, I'm not been feeling to
Yeah.
play like the new map as much. So, what's your
Uh,
thoughts?
I I think melee is always gonna be something like that because we need someone to stand on the idol. If the melee classes are not strong enough to stand there, then it is going to be super hard for anyone to push it. Now I understand that win lose does matter. Everyone wants to win, and they do care about the win rate and stuff like that. But personally, nowadays I don't care about win rate all that much since there is no rewards for being a top one, top five, top 10 in the leaderboard. I just make sure that I play my best and have fun. And the new map is able to deliver that to me as a visitor. So I have been enjoying the new map a lot
No, but
more.
that's because you just said it and right. Because whenever I play a wizard or I play crusader or any of these top dog classes, I have more fun than playing a class that
Okay,
doesn't
another
perform as well,
another thing.
right?
This. I mean, this is actually a really good topic because let's say Wizard does not play really well if a 12 or 13K Rezo rail will be playing it. It is played best by, let's say, a mid Rezo player or a low Rezo player. The higher tier classes will be somewhat like a Tempest, a Barbarian, Crusader, and Necro. They played the best at the top tier, and then in the mid tier, you can still somewhat play Barbarian, Tempest, Crusader, Necro, and maybe Demon Hunter also do good, and you can keep on playing. Wizard is going to be one of the top dogs in the mid tier, maybe one of the best, and if you go down all the way to free to play or low spender, Wizard is going to be absolutely best for most people, especially providing support. They can try and work on their potency. Don't need to care about the resonance all that much. If they can work on their secondary potency, they will have impact providing the CC. It will even help some of the weaker teams to win some of the games. I have done that myself personally. We struggling versus some of the stronger teams, but if I provide the CC at the right time, the teammates can actually fight and win. So Wizard in the lower and the mid tier is one of the best, and some of the classes on the top tier perform better. So for example, I if I try, let's say, uh, uh, as a uh, as a small player, if I try to play as a, let's say, Tempest, I won't be, I think, uh, enjoying my experience of PvP all that much. But if I was playing a wizard, it would be a better experience. So some
Yeah.
classes plays best at different tiers. That's
Yeah,
just how
definitely.
it is.
That's why I actually like to switch classes because like it gives you like so many POVs. Because like sometimes whenever you play just one class, you maybe get like super biased, and it's harder sometimes to understand like
Hey, what are you
the.
trying to say? What are you trying to say?
No, I'm not trying to say anything. Sorry, Keys. I'm sorry. I'm
Uh-huh,
sorry, man. I'm sorry.
If
No,
I can interject really fast,
yeah, go
something
for it.
Apollyon just said. So, just the one thing that this game has is there's something for everybody, even free to play. Now, if you queue regular battlegrounds, you're gonna get crushed by a big spender. But if you queue like Alley of Blood or anything where everything's normalized, any of those modes,
Mhm.
Wizard especially is one of the most frustrating things to face in Alley of Blood because he'll 100 to 0 me in one freeze duration.
Yeah.
So like you have to play a very specific build as a demon hunter so you don't get 100 to 0 during a freeze. So wizard free to play in Alley of Blood, you can absolutely have a blast in that mode. So I just want to point that out to everyone that's listening is there's something in this game for everyone, whether it's PvE, PvP, whether you're a spender or not a spender. You can find a mode that kind of aligns with what you're expecting or wanting to do in the game. So you can have fun. It's a game. It's supposed to be fun. So
Yeah.
this game has all kinds of different modes based on the type of player that you are. So yeah, I mean overall, I think this game is a blast, and it's a mobile game too. So I think it's one of the top mobile games out there.
Yeah, now we actually touch on in a very good topic that I kind of wanted to expand. The other day, I had like this conversation with Echo, and we were like thinking, what could be like Diablo Immortal 2, you know? We also talked about maybe like a possibility of creation of like these seasonal servers coming, maybe like they're gonna open up for like, you know, 3 6 months, and then like just Diablo Immortal, just like Diablo 4, like you go, you create a server, create a character, you're there, you have fun. Do you guys, where do you guys see this game going? Do you guys think like, how is it gonna expand? Like, do you think there's a new game will come like maybe soon? What is your thoughts? Let's start with the game zone.
Well, I don't believe that there is going to be a newer Diablo Immortal coming anytime soon because I think they already have plan of expanding its story and bringing us more zones, and I think we could say for us could say that they will do the same for the next few years because let's say if they would try to bring a newer game in near future from 2 years from now, then most of the investors, the big whales who have invested into Diablo Immortal, I don't think they would jump to the newer game unless if everything is they're going to be like free to play or the only thing that you can purchase there is battle pass just like Diablo 4. If that is what is going to be the case, then I can definitely see a lot of players moving on to the newer Diablo game. But if it is the same thing which will happen, like we will have to start our character, build it up, and spend, this is not going to happen unless everything there is going to be free or have some, kind of just a low spending mechanic where you just spend a monthly and that's about it. Otherwise, working on a newer game from the start is a lot of uh, money, which I don't think Blizzard or NetEase would want to do it. And right
And
now,
some
their
quick
game.
thoughts on the new servers, like with the imagine like we could have a seasonal server that everything was just gonna be like way faster, like you could reach, imagine like to gear rank 30
Mm,
in like 1 month, so like if you just like play it casually, and then there's like a seasonal mechanic or something. Like I feel like the game will just keep slowly in progressing as it is. But sometimes like there is like these very deep dry moments in the game that it really feels like for veterans, it's like a major thing for veterans, it feels like there
mm.
is nothing to do except maybe like just queue up in battlegrounds or something like that.
Well, they could make that work. They really don't need a newer server for that. I would say there should be some more rewards related to the seasonal character. They don't need to introduce a new server for that, but they can do that so everyone would start fresh there. And what they can do with that is if whoever's actually play with the seasonal character are going to receive some reward, which would then be transferred to your main character or whichever that you would want to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And this way it would actually promote players to play this seasonal character. Otherwise, we already know that the weekly grind is a lot, and since this is a mobile game, I don't think a lot of people would want to try out the seasonal character unless there is something for them to receive for the main character. Just like Diablo 3, I have played Diablo 3. So in Diablo 3, when you used to play the seasonal character, and when the season ends, all your loot, all your legendary would actually automatically transfer to your stash. So that was a really good thing there in Diablo 3. And if
Mm-hmm.
that is something that, which I mean, they can do here, with the newer server and the seasonal character, I think that could work. And for us content creator, this is somewhat going to be really fun to share and live stream. I definitely agree. And I do believe that most people would actually want to watch that instead of trying it out themselves.
An hardcore
But
mode.
yeah, the hardcore mode or things related to that, there can be a lot of ideas, but the thing is whether if developers are thinking in order to get go into that direction, and that takes a lot of manpower to build this new system, and I don't believe that they have this much manpower to
I
work
mean,
on this.
there were like some some news that said that Diablo Immortal is making 20 million a month. So I
Well,
hope it's
It
going
probably
some.
is.
I don't
It
want
probably is.
to. Yeah, it probably is, but the thing is, they want to put less effort and earn more out of it. That is the entire point of having a Diablo Immortal, to earn more and keep on track. That makes people happy and no need to stray away from the direction which they already
So you
have
think they
chosen
are
for the
investing
game.
in other games? They are pulling those resources to other games to finance other games.
Definitely into Diablo 4,
Hmm. What do you think
because I
about this, Apollyon?
I have a different take on this. I believe they have a plan for what they're gonna do when the time will come for that, and it could be something what the Fortnite did. They actually took down the original Fortnite for like a month or more, and then rebranded it and called it Fortnite 2. So they can do something like that. Maybe when the game will get 5 year old, they're gonna rebrand the old game with a new branding of Immortal 2, introduce maybe a seasonal servers and a couple of other things. It will bring new players. I can see something like that happening, but not anytime soon. That is something that can happen, and I'm quite sure that they already figured out what they want to do in future. I mean, these are big companies. They plan ahead, like years ahead, and they have a plan what they're gonna do. And most likely, it is gonna be rebranding of Diablo Immortal. They will take it down for a couple of months, then start rebranding it with Diablo Immortal 2. Something new will be coming. You will keep your progression from original game. It will be moving to maybe a newer game with new engine, more mods, seasonal server, and pre-order it or maybe pre-register it. You will get it. There will be release of the Diablo Immortal 2. You will get reward and stuff like that, and it is going to be rebranding of the game, and it will bring back a lot of new players. So I can see something like that happening. Older players will still somewhat maybe remain in a single big older server, and the newer players will able to start on the newer server, and older players will most likely won't able to move to the new server for maybe 1 year or more. I can see something like that happening. Recently, New World did that with the launch of their New World Eternum. They rebranded the game basically from PC to console, changed the New World to New World Eternum, sold it, rebranded it on the console, and added the cross server. So in future, maybe they will also uh, allow the PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam users to play the games. But I do believe that Blizzard 100% got the plan what they're gonna do with the Diablo Immortal. These are big companies, and they do plan like years ahead what they're gonna do with the IP.
What about you, Keys?
There's a lot said. Which part? Which part?
No, it's like what is your thoughts like about like the future for the game? Do you think is there something that you like to see like in the years to come?
During whenever I was talking, especially like the hardcore mode, I was thinking like, wouldn't that be crazy? This will never happen, I don't think. But could you imagine if there's a hardcore mode with pay to win as well? People spending all the money and then their character dying. That'd be hilarious. I think that'd be the most hilarious thing ever. Especially if there was like PK zones where you could like just go around killing people. That would be crazy. And that'll never happen. But you know, that was a thought that I had.
Yeah, we'll transfer
If
it like to a you know, like whenever your hardcore character usually dies, just gets transferred to like the legacy server or like to a normal server, right?
Oh, that'd be kind of fun too. Or if you could copy your character onto the hardcore server and then
Yeah.
play it until it dies, right? That'd be interesting. That way, money isn't actually lost. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool too. But as far as like, if we look at the gaming history and I know I make a lot of comparisons to like what other companies do, what Blizzard does within their own IP. I think it won't be like the Call of Duty style expansions where it's like Call of Duty 60 now or whatever they're up to. Like they just make a new one every single year and it's like the same underlying engine no matter what. I think like if we look at Counter Strike, that was a completely different engine when it went from CS:GO to CS2, right?
Mhm.
And Fortnite wasn't a different engine. I don't think Overwatch 2 was a different engine. So the only thing I'd like to see with this game is really just engine optimization. And I know they did that. I think it was last year or one of the last major updates. They did an engine optimization, and where they rewrote a lot of the underlying code, which unblocked them from doing other things in the game. But that would be the only thing that, because you mean this game doesn't perform very well.
No.
Like because it's basically like you take like a mobile emulator and then wrap it right, and then that it's basically like an emulator that runs on your PC. So it's not very optimized. And you can see it like with performance use, memory leaks, with GPU usage, all the consumption that it takes to run this game. It's not that big of a game, but it actually takes quite a bit, and it's just like I know GameZone was saying like his CPU usage is really high because like memory leaks and things like that, right? And abnormal processes that are running. So I would like to see that maybe like an optimized PC client come for like the game, but that's like a pipe dream. So yeah, I mean that's
No,
really the only thing.
I
As
don't
far
know
as like
if
the game goes, I mean.
you're too far from it because I remembered, and I think Apollyon can also confirm that a while back there was like this announcement, at least in China, that was gonna be like this AAA PC experience client, blah blah blah
Ray
blah blah.
tracing.
No, but the ray
Well,
tracing was only for mobile. Oh my god. Listen, that was the biggest debate ever. And they were like, oh, we never said that it was for PC, but you also never said that it was only for mobile. you know?
yeah, they did not mention that, and I was really, really sad about it when I saw that it's not coming for PC. I mean, what else? I mean, where else would be the best place to introduce a ray tracing than PC? I mean,
No.
that's freaking. I really don't like that. I still miss not having ray tracing in
Yeah.
PC.
No, but
I mean,
but the thing is, like they promised like many months ago a AAA, like pretty much
yeah,
they were like remaking the whole game for the PC, because like I have like a toaster, right? Like my PC is not the best, but it always run like decently well, because it's at the end of the day, like kids were saying, it is an emulator with a mobile on top. But I
exactly.
wish that and I feel like the engines like for Diablo 3 and even like Diablo 4, if they can update the game, and man, it could look so good. It could look so good. It could look, because if you play it like on a phone or on a tablet, it runs like so smoothly. But on a PC, it is like you can feel it, like it is slightly junky. And I just don't know why. But like I'm not a developer, right? But I definitely empathize with what the kids is saying.
Yeah, definitely my 120 FPS doesn't feel as smooth as it does on my mobile with 60 FPS. That much I can tell you. On
Yeah.
mobile, 60 FPS feels so much smooth that it makes me wonder, am I really running Diablo Immortal on 120 FPS on PC? I mean, that's just insane. So I do believe that there is some issue with this, and part of the reason why I believe that is because they want to implement these updates to mobile, and this way, using the PC version as an emulator helps them implement them quite easily. They really don't have to go through different files. All they have to do is just inject the newer update into it, and it would work. So
Mhm.
less time for them, less work.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, guys, any last topics, any last words, any questions that you want to say? Because this was amazing, man. This was amazing to have, like, I've been wanting to do something like this with like multiple people. So I want to thank to Keys and GameZone that you guys also accepted the invite to join me in Apollyon. Also, of course, Apollyon, thank you so much for coming. Any last words, guys?
Yeah,
If
buy more
the
orbs.
By- Buy more orbs. But yeah, if the chat got any questions for us before we go, let's see if like do
Yeah,
they have any questions?
I think the main question was, is Apollyon Game Zone the best, like the same person? And I think
Oh
today
my goodness!
I'm
I
so
mean,
glad. Listen, you guys will clip this, and then it's like it's debunked. Okay, it has been debunked. It has been like a myth in the community for 3 years, and we actually
Yeah.
debunked it live. But yeah, of course, chat. If you guys have a last question, in the meantime,
I
any
want to
last
say
words?
something. I actually want to say something because when I logged into your live stream, I noticed that you guys were talking about the Berserk and the tempering Phantom Marquis skin. So I had this idea came into my mind, and I don't want developers watching this or listening to this, but I mean, you know about the celestial skin, right? The Phantom Market. If you awaken the skin, there is going to be a thunderstorm happening behind you, and it would change your color, the skin color. And if you awaken it further, then you will have the animation for kills. So I was having this idea in my mind. Let's say if they are going to bring the berserk skin, and if you tempered it, then barbarian is actually going to have a long sword holding behind it, their back, and if you unlock the skin the second time, then you will see a sword is swinging around monsters when they are going to die.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said to Apollyon. I can see like definitely a world that's gonna happen, for sure. Fexus is asking what are the two types of combat rating in Diablo Immortal? I think PvE and PvP, right? What is like
Yeah, he's talking about the PvP combat power, which you can only see like when you sign up for Rite of Exile or whatever. Like you see the PvP power, and you can see it on your in the codex after you like hit the next tier. You can click complete, but then it disappears. That I think that's what he's talking about. But that's
Yeah,
like the character power in PvP is just to combine resonance and your secondary stats and your combat rating. That's what the
yeah.
PvP character
Yeah.
power is.
All right.
Well,
Do we have anything else?
Anything else? The game zone and Keith.
Well,
Any last words?
Well, my final was is gonna be, boys. Thanks for having me. It was super fun for me, and get to see Keys and GameZone here. And I'm excited for the upcoming collaboration event. Hopefully, it is gonna be a good one. Hopefully, everyone gets something out of that event. And as a fellow content creator, I'm hoping we get to do something like this in future as well. It was super fun for me, and thanks for having me again here in this. And thank you, Game Zone Keys, for joining in as well. It made the whole thing a bit more fun for me. So it was super fun, really, really good vibes, at least for me. And I do believe that Diablo Immortal is going in a right direction, and hopefully we will see some more fun stuff coming to the game. And anniversary is around 2 months away, and we will be getting a new class, anniversary, new raid bosses, Inferno difficulties, new Paragon trees, new gear, and a lot more pretty soon. So I am excited for next couple of months.
Man, they should
So
hire you as a publicity.
yes, you see.
New hyper.
But yeah,
uh,
I'm definitely
well,
excited for upcoming
well,
months.
if we would have a polling in the partner program, then maybe we will be able to share our leaks as well. I mean, just leaks information.
I mean, there is one community manager who does not like me getting information before everyone else. So, otherwise, I do talk to everyone else there. They are super nice people, and I have been in communication with them. So, super nice people. But I have my own connection nowadays, and I know that because of me, sometime even you guys get into trouble. But rest assured that I have a lot more connection and people connected with people who knows the stuff. And even right now, I know a bit more, but I cannot. I'm not
That's a
allowed to
spy
say.
thing
Yeah.
happening here.
I mean, I mean, this is one door closes on you, another one opens. It's just like that. So But yes, so, they are definitely good people, and yeah, I'm
Apollyon with the mob
generally
connections. Yeah,
yeah.
okay. You know what? I actually forgot to. Okay, I don't even know if I should ask, but is that issue that you had like with the Voldemort kind of fucking fixed up?
No. Okay, so what actually happened was you were not a part of partner program back then. I mean, I did not share this story with anyone. So they last year they invited a couple of creators to their headquarter, and they tested the new class. Tempest, which was coming, and after that there was a huge leak. Someone who was invited, they end up leaking the Paragon tree and the skill for the Tempest, and they were trying to uh, they were somewhat angry, and that anger somewhat got to me because in my comment section, I told a person that I read the comment, I read the patch notes, and I can confirm some of these leaks are accurate. And one of the biggest community manager came to me and was like, you are not allowed to say this, and because of this, we are not happy. And after that, the issue started. So
Mm.
someone else did something bad, and I made a mistake of saying that I read the patch notes and these leaks for the Paragon, and some of these stuff coming is true. They read that comment, shared that with me. I said sorry, but they were like, nope. And then you can say I started building up my own connections. Now, now they are
No,
like,
but
"Ah,
wait. My question was regarding the issues that you had like because of like the
The
guy, the
no, no,
Voldemort.
no, no,
server
no, no,
killer, the
no.
Voldemort.
They don't. I know they don't care about in-game drama or anything.
Oh,
They
okay.
don't care at all.
No, but
It
is
was
everything fine regarding that topic? Like we never got like another like
I s-
update.
I still get attacked every now and then, but you know what? It's just I cannot do anything. I mean, today there was someone attacking me saying that, oh my goodness, all your friend left the server, you are all alone, and you can never become immortal again. Your clan can never become immortal again.
Oh.
On our server for about 30 weeks now, only six clans are rotating between one another. It's about the Voldemort and stuff like that. But every now and then it's still happening, but I try and avoid it. No point in trying to polish the game. If Blizzard is not gonna do anything, I personally cannot do anything. I have no power.
Yeah,
So
that's
no
true.
point. No point. It's just drama, and no one needs that. So I
No,
try
no,
not.
I need
Like,
that. I need more reaction,
oh my
man. That was
goodness.
fucking great. What do you mean? No, but
Well,
on a serious note, man, I hope that you're fine and all that bullshit. Like one thing
I
is
mean,
entertainment, other thing
I mean,
is like real life. It
that
was pretty fucked.
that thing was new to me the
Yeah.
first time that happened, and some of the private information that I only told only a couple of people were leaked, and then I was seeing a couple of things which was not supposed to happen. Like no one should do that. So because of that, uh, it wasn't a good experience.
Yeah. You
But
fine?
now I'm somewhat fine. They can do whatever they want to. I know that I have not done anything wrong. I was only sharing my opinion and not sharing anyone's personal opinion or even in-game name or anything like Voldemort and stuff like that. That is not anyone in the game.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
true. I'm
I
glad
was
that it's been slightly
no,
fixed up.
they were saying that there's gonna be the consequences of in real life lawsuits and stuff like that, and because of that, I was like, oh my goodness, these people are actually wills, and they can maybe spend money and put me into issues like create trouble for me. But then I end up talking with a couple of people from the community who were actually one of them gave me some advice on the law, how it works. I believe it was Keys or someone else
Yeah,
who
Keys
also
also reach
told me.
out.
Yeah, he reached out to me. So after like hearing and talking with other people, I started to feel a bit more confident. And I was like, nah, maybe they are just trying to scare me off and I have not done anything wrong. Was just sharing my opinion. But that was not a good time. I mean, I have spent quite a lot of money in game uh, not compared to like big whales, but still quite a lot, getting close to 6K. And I do like to become immortal. I try and fight that. Didn't happen. Now 5 of the top clans left the server, and it is what it is. Now we cannot do more. So hopefully something Blizzard will do in future, but it's just a headache. I mean, it's a headache as a content creator trying to
Yeah.
fight it. Yeah, it's not fun.
But it
It's
was
not
great
fun.
content. I'm gonna tell you that.
Well,
The drama is just gonna, it's gonna get the views, but it's also gonna stir the pot.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
videos are just basic build videos, right? And none of that drama bleeds into my videos because it's all strictly about the build, right? So
I always stay
Definitely.
away from it.
All right,
I mean,
Keith.
if you look,
Last words.
I mean, in this, if you're looking for good content, just invite other content creator, and we give you some spicy stuff to talk about.
No, but he's like sometimes, man. Like we are too friendly, man. Sometimes we need some spicy fucking drama, you know.
Well, it's also
No, no,
happening in my server. I mean,
no,
it's
no.
also happening in my server with the
Mm.
account purchasing, and there is this one clan who has bought over almost 30 whales account, and they're the strongest now.
Bro,
There is
bro,
no
bro, 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 we're gonna start a new drama. You know the comments that you see every now and then. Sometime I try and recommend a person who will come to my channel. Recommend a dude. Hey, he first off he will come to me and say that he is free to play. And he needs help. I tell him, you can go check out Indez. He is free to play, and he will tell me that now he is secretly paid to win. You know what? So we can start a drama and make a video. Indez is paid to win.
Yeah, yeah.
He has been lying.
Yeah, that's the next good video for
next
creating a
big
drama.
drama on Diablo Immortal.
No, you know what is
Apollyon is-
the issue is like we are too like we are not a lot, right? If there was
Yeah.
like maybe like 100 creators creating content about like Diablo Immortal, I am sure that we will have like some more spicy drama happening between creators, but there's not a lot of us, so maybe in the future you guys gonna debunk me. I'm gonna have a content cop, like someone going through all my footage and realizing that I'm a pay to win after all.
Oh,
But,
well, anyhow, I had a lot of fun. Thanks for having me again. And like I said before, I'm super excited for upcoming next couple of months, an update, collaboration, and I think the game is somewhat going in the right direction. At least they are trying. So a lot of good stuff ahead for everyone, hopefully.
All right, Keith, any last words? We're the last one.
Yeah, thanks for having us today, and nice talking to everyone. I thought it was a very, very nice way to start my Saturday morning. So during my lunch, so yeah, it was great. Thanks for having us. I do think that the game is, going in the right direction. I think that there's a lot of room for growth and opportunity, and just encourage everyone to, post on Reddit when there's bugs, fill out a bug report. I mean, you can, message the partners and stuff like that. They can open one for you, but just do it yourself because we don't want to be the middleman. And the game is only going to get better as long as we're contributing to the community and fixing the problems, right? If they don't know something's broken and you just complain in in-game chat about it and you don't like make a post or a thread about it, nothing's going to get fixed. So
Yeah.
I do just encourage everyone to, we're a community. This is a game, right? So this, open the post, say that something's not right or something should be fixed. And, the people at Blizzard can investigate and, we can, I've opened plenty of bug reports myself, report things that are broken. But yeah, if they don't know it's broken, they can't fix it. So yeah, that's it. I think, thanks for having us.
All right, GameZone, and last words.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I didn't knew that I would be making my way here, but it was quite fun. And I do second what Keith said. And on top of that, I would like to add one thing here, especially for the newer or the returning player, that please don't try to push your resonance only, because when you do that, overall you make your experience worse. Instead, just try to ask the community or in clan, or if you have a really good friend, make a good combination of your gem. It doesn't matter if those gems are 1 star or 2 star. You don't need a 5 star gem. Having a less resonance but better gems synergy and damage output is actually better than having a higher resonance. And the second thing which I would advise is try to upgrade your secondary a lot more. This will overall experience improve your experience as a free to play or mid sprinter. And trust me, this game can be fun. And at the end of the day, Diablo was always about killing monster. It came from that and evolved into PvP. So if you are not enjoying the PvE element of the game, there is a really, I mean, it's going to be really hard for you to enjoy the PvP. So try to improve yourself first for the PvE because that is where most of the content is always coming for. So improve your experience for PvE first, then step into the world of PvP. I think that is how you did it because I did saw your video or it was a live stream where you said that the first 6 months or couple of months were hard for you to step into the PvP, but when
Yeah.
you did, you were quite prepped for it. So there is always a journey towards your goal. So do that. It doesn't mean that you have to spend for it. You can do it as long as you are enjoying it. So that is what I would advise to all the players. And if a Blizzard is watching this, I also want to give them a suggestion that please don't bring a Phantom Market skin for Berserk. Don't ruin it. Instead, bring a next season pass or the battle pass based on the Berserk uh, crossover. Give us those skins maybe in the battle pass or just give them to us as free as a token of you know appreciation to all players who are still playing it, and that would be a really nice gesture to all the players in my opinion, instead of them trying to be more greedy, but in return they are rewarding players for playing the game or returning to it. you know it should always be like give and take, and this kind of relationship between players and the developer works the best. But if they always would want to take more from you and give less to you in return, that is going to leave you frustrated, unhappy. So these kinds of events, I believe they should take a uh, use this as an occasion where they would actually reward players more. So I am definitely looking forward to this Berserk event crossover and hoping that they would rain free rewards to
Yeah.
players. That is what I am expecting
Yeah.
because I am kind of tired of seeing the pay to win mechanic related to every single event. That is not what I
Yeah,
want for
hopefully we're gonna
this.
have like a free to play and but you know GameZone, you know they're gonna bring that
Yeah,
to
I know.
Phantom Cosmetic, you know.
This is
But you
why
know
this
what?
is
You know what we all want? And it's something that if Blizzard is watching, we need a creator code. That's all. That's all I care.
yeah,
give us,
exactly.
give
I
us a
mean,
creator code, chat.
yeah, give us a greater code. I would
Bro,
definitely
bro,
love
bro.
that.
China got that. China content creator. They have the creator course.
Huh?
They already have. Yep, the
Yeah, they
Chinese.
have for the longest time, I think. They have that
Yep,
What?
for the longest.
yep. It's already in the game, just not for us.
That's
Get
crazy.
you have to buy orbs. You get 15% more orbs when you buy it. That's what you get.
It's all about orbs.
No. But wait, you're saying that the creators in China, if a viewer buys with their code, they get a commission? No.
I
No,
not
but
that. The in-game benefits, they have in-game benefits, I think.
So what is like in-game benefits?
you
That
get
we don't know.
basically in-game rewards you can get by using a creator code. So recently with the last update, there was about 5 creator codes from a single content creator that you could use, and I tried to use those on my global, yeah, like NAE server, and none of those worked for me. but that person was giving away the codes for the Chinese player, and yeah, they already have the creator codes, and we don't.
What
have
what
it.
do they get? What do they get on the account? What is
They
that?
get the
Orbs?
9 gems and legendary crest.
You get money. You get money. Just
No,
kidding.
no, I no, I want money. I don't want fucking crest. I don't give a fuck. Then, bro, like it's tough right here, man. Like we are covering Diablo Immortal. I mean, you know what I mean.
But,
All right, guys.
They get. All right. I think it's getting too long.
Thank you
but,
so much
yeah.
for coming. This was amazing. Hopefully, in the future, we do something like this again. Thank you so much for those that also came and enjoyed through all this time. This was fucking amazing. So, guys, I'm gonna say goodbye for now for you on Discord, and then I'm gonna speak a bit with my chat. So, thank you, Keys, Apollyon, and GameZone. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I'll see you soon.
Yep. Thanks. See you guys.
Thanks.
Peace.
Bye.